To the listening public, if you could bear with us just a few moments. On one of the days, we're going to have one of the shortest agendas. We're trying to make sure we have a quorum, so we will start momentarily. Thank you for your patience. If we could have Deputy Sheriff, if you could, call the meeting to order.
All right.
If we could have for the invocation. Just a moment, please.
Good afternoon to this distinguished body, and thank you for the invitation to open these sessions up for the Shelby County Commission meeting this afternoon, and also for you all taking the opportunity to honor all of these distinguished honorees who are with us, especially also Jason Sharif, who is working with A Better White Haven, and all around the city. He is truly a dedicated and hardworking public servant without a title. We've been invited to make this opening. This opening we call Dua, and we usually, in our practice and position, hold our hands out as if we are receiving what we are asking from Almighty God. So if you adopt a position of reverence where you are, we recite this in Arabic and then in English. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Malik yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen. Translation. With God's name, merciful benefactor, merciful redeemer, all the praise due to Almighty God, Lord of all the systems of knowledge, merciful benefactor, merciful redeemer, master and sole judge on the day of judgment. Thee alone do we worship, and thine aid do we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thou grace, those whose portion is not wrath and who go not astray. O Almighty God, we give you all the praises and thanks for those things that we are conscious and unconscious of. Bless this body that has taken on the responsibility to serve the citizens of Memphis to the best of their ability to improve our lives. Imbue them with the qualities of the best of our leaders: integrity, self-awareness, courage, respect, compassion, resilience, and insight, and grant them that they may rise above any differences and work together for the benefit of all residents and visitors of Shelby County. Give them the fortitude to make the tough decisions if it's in the best interest of the people. Though unpopular, you are the knower we know not, and you are the best to judge and reward. Amen. Amen.
Amin Wali Shahid, thank you so much for the beautiful prayer. Vice Chair, if you could lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll.
Commissioner Whaley,
Present.
Commissioner Bibbs, Commissioner Caswell, Commissioner Sugarman, Commissioner Mills,
Present.
Commissioner Wright,
Present.
Commissioner Thornton, Commissioner Morrison,
Present.
Commissioner Brooks, Commissioner Laurie,
Present.
Vice Chair Bradford,
Present.
Chairwoman Avant.
Present.
We have 8 present.
We have a quorum. At this time, we'll have a presentation to Amin Wali Shahid. Commissioner Lowry?
Madam Chair, Board Commissioners, we'd like to present this to Imam Wali Shahid and thank him for being chaplain for the day. Sir, we thank you for your prayers, thank you for your well wishes, and thank you for all that you continue to do for Shelby County. Thank you so much. Right behind you.
All right, a wonderful day indeed for us to be able to have so many presentations of people who have made such wonderful contributions. This time, we'll move to the approval of the minutes. There are no minutes to approve for this session. Those minutes will be approved at our next commission meeting. Is that correct? All right, parliamentarian, if you could read for the public. I'm sorry. It is possible to join the meeting in 2 ways: via the designated email account, boc.email@shelbycountytn.gov, and via telephone at 901-222-1234. Parliamentarian, please read the rule.
Members of the public who desire to address the County Commission shall request permission by completing an appearance card, which will be given to the chair by a deputy. Members of the public shall be permitted to address the County Commission unless ruled out of order by the chair or denied the opportunity to speak by majority vote of the commissioners present and voting. Please note that as it pertains to public comment, our rules of order set a limit of no longer than 3 minutes when recognized by the chair. The chair may set a limit for discussion by the public of less than 3 minutes for each individual if circumstances require. Finally, to the members of the public, if you would like to express your pleasure or displeasure on a matter before the County Commission, please do so by raising your thumb up or pointing it down, as opposed to applause or other expressions of approval or disapproval. Disruptive members of the public are subject to removal from the Commission chambers by the Deputy Sheriff. Thank you for your attention and in advance for your cooperation today.
Thank you. My apologies. There are minutes to approve. I'm going to go back to that item. My apologies, colleague. This is approval of the February 4th, 2026 minutes. If there are no changes, can we do that without objection? I want to get clarification because at our last meeting, we did not have minutes to approve, and I think there are 2 sets of minutes. So the February 4th as well as the February 9th. Can we do both? If there are no objections, can we do that? If there are no changes, can we do that without objection? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. All right, we'll now move to birthdays for this month. I think we've said these a few times because we've had so many meetings. But again, in order to honor Commissioner Brooks, who is our stateswoman, and we want to acknowledge all of the contributions she's made. Her birthday was on February 2nd, as well as Evelyn Guy, one of our staff members. Her birthday was on February 28th. All right, we will now move to honoring our 2026 Black History honorees. We'll move in the order of the districts, and so District 1 will be our first recognition. Commissioner Mills? Yes.
Thank you all. Gentleman I'm recognizing today actually needs no introduction, so I'm going to get down to business here. Whereas Black History Month provides an opportunity to honor the achievements, contributions, and enduring legacy of African Americans who have shaped our communities, our state, and our nation. And whereas John J. DeBerry Jr., a lifelong Memphian, has dedicated decades of his life to public service, education, and community leadership in Memphis and Shelby County. And whereas he served with distinction for more than 25 years as a member of the Tennessee House of Representatives, representing his constituents with integrity, independence, and a steadfast commitment to improving the lives of all Tennesseans. And whereas throughout his legislative tenure, he championed education reform, public safety, economic opportunity, and stronger communities, earning respect across political and ideological lines. And whereas, in addition to his legislative service, John DeBerry devoted his career to education as a teacher and mentor, shaping the lives of countless students and demonstrating a steadfast belief in the power of education to transform futures. And whereas he continued his service to the state of Tennessee as senior advisor to Governor Bill Lee, becoming the first African American to serve as a senior advisor to a Tennessee governor and to maintain an office on the same floor as the governor in the state capitol, a milestone reflecting both his trusted leadership and the progress of inclusive representation in state government. And whereas John DeBerry's life and work reflect the values of perseverance, civic responsibility, and servant leadership that Black History Month seeks to celebrate and preserve for future generations. Now therefore be it resolved that the Shelby County Board of Commissioners hereby honors and recognizes John J. DeBerry Jr. for his lifelong commitment to public service, education, and community leadership, and celebrates his lasting contributions to Shelby County and the state of Tennessee. Be it further resolved that we extend our sincere gratitude for your dedication and join in commemorating your legacy during Black History Month and beyond. Thank you very, very much.
Say something. A couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative for this honor today, and I appreciate Commissioner Mills for considering me, and not just me, my family. When I look at this group today, when I look at this group of commissioners, our chair, and even our mayor, it was a totally different place in 1969 when I was a boy. And when Dr. King came to Memphis in '68, made the sacrifice that changed the world, men and women, black and white, of all religious convictions, marched right here in Memphis, Tennessee, not far from here, and they changed the world. As a teenage boy, I got a chance to walk with, work with, and observe this tremendous generation of people. So I accept this award for John D. Berry Sr., who was there with Dr. Kiles, with Dr. King, with Dr. Jackson, and others, unnamed individuals who stood here in Memphis and changed the world. Someone said one time, you cannot unwrite history, you cannot rewrite history, but we learn from history. And what we've learned is when we work together, we sat down together as statesmen, we changed the world. And I appreciate you today, and I appreciate this honor.
Thank you, Thank you, Mr. DeBerry. We'll now have District 2 Commissioner Bradford honoring Dr. Charles Green.
have the honor today of recognizing Dr. Green, and so I will not gonna read the whole thing here because we got a lot ahead of us today, but we'll hit the highlights. So whereas Dr. Green has dedicated more than 5 decades to advancing education as a teacher, counselor, principal, university instructor, and district leader, serving communities across Louisiana, Iowa, Colorado, Missouri, North Carolina, and Tennessee, and whereas duly recognized as a West Tennessee Distinguished Administrator State Awardee, Dr. Green is a retired public school educator and educational administrator. During his decades-long experience in education, Dr. Green has served in several leadership roles, including as principal, assistant principal, and various administrative positions within Shelby County's legacy Memphis City schools and numerous other districts across the country. He has demonstrated exceptional leadership as principal in multiple school districts, including Memphis City Schools, where he guided Fraser High School for 10 years and later led the East Career and Technology Center, strengthening academic programs and student opportunities. And whereas Dr. Green has contributed significantly to the professional growth of educators through his extensive university teaching career, serving as an adjunct professor or coordinator at institutions such as Belhaven University, University of Memphis, Tennessee State University, Christian Brothers University, and Nova Southeastern University. He has contributed to national education progress through publications, presentations, and participations in the development of science standards for the National Board of Professional Teaching Standards. He has also authored several grants nearing $1 million. Whereas Dr. Green has strengthened public education through service on numerous committees, including the Memphis Education Association Board of Directors, the Tennessee Education Association Board of Directors, and multiple district-level evaluations, compensation, and policy teams. It is worth noting that Dr. Green is well immersed in the development of the Fraser community, serving on several committees during his tenure as principal from 1996 to 2006. In February 2024, he was unanimously selected by the Collierville Board of Mayor and Aldermen to fill the unexpired position 4-term on the Collierville Municipal School Board. And whereas Dr. Green's lifelong commitment to student achievement, educator development, and community engagement exemplifies his excellence, resilience, intellectual advancement, and community leadership celebrated during Black History Month, we honor Dr. Charles M. Green for his extraordinary service, his unwavering dedication to education equity, and his profound impact on generations of students, educators, and communities. And therefore be it resolved that the Shelby County Board of Commissioners do hereby acknowledge Dr. Charles M. Green's legacy of leadership, scholarship, and public service, be recognized an enduring contribution to Black history and to the advancement of education in Shelby County and the United States. Congratulations, Dr. Green.
Thank you, Dr. Green. We'll now move to District 3, Commissioner Wright, honoring Felicia Knox.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm going to go ahead and ask my honoree for District 3 to come on up, and you have a couple of loved ones. If they would like to come up as well, you're welcome to stay seated either way. Come on up. This is Felicia Knox. So I'll go ahead and read this portion of the resolution, which says, whereas Miss Felicia L. Knox stands as a shining example of excellence in education, librarianship, and public service, serving with distinction as director of the Bartlett Public Library in Bartlett. And whereas, as the only child of Wesley H. Knox and Geraldine J. Knox Staton, Miss Knox was instilled with enduring values of integrity, perseverance, and service that have shaped her lifelong dedication to education and community enhancement. And whereas Miss Knox began her professional journey as an English teacher in multiple school districts, she later expanded her impact as a school librarian and continued her service in higher education at Rhodes College, where she fostered academic excellence and access to knowledge. Through her visionary leadership at the Bartlett Public Library, Ms. Knox champions literacy initiatives, lifelong learning opportunities, innovative library services, and inclusive community programming that enhance the lives of residents of all ages. And whereas her professional excellence is complemented by her active involvement in the Memphis Area Library Council and her distinguished 29-year membership in Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. This has reflected her steadfast commitment to civic engagement, scholarship, and sisterhood. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Shelby County, Tennessee, that we do hereby honor Felicia L. Knox for her meaningful bestowal to the cultural and intellectual vitality of our community. Thank you so much. I think we might turn this way. You want to see? Apologize, Chair. I wanted to give her a chance to speak. I forgot to do that. So. Would you like to say a few words? Oh, okay. All right. Apologies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Knox. We'd now like to move to District 4, Commissioner Morrison, honoring Jaron Jackson Jr.
Well, like all of you, probably many of you, I just love the Grizzlies, and there have been many of the players that I've grown to love, but probably none more so than Jaron Jackson Jr. It's hard to imagine that he came to Memphis at such a young age. He was really just a boy, and I think he had as much impact as any of our great players. And if you haven't read the article by Sharon Brown written on February 9th, please do, because it speaks more eloquently than I can about how he became part of the rhythm of our city. And he was a really understated example of a fine young gentleman, in my view. So this special resolution will be sent to him in Utah as we wish him well on his journey. Special resolution honoring and recognizing Jaron Jackson Jr. This month. Whereas Jaron Jackson Jr. has distinguished himself as an elite professional athlete in the NBA, earning accolades for his defensive dominance. He was actually our second Grizzly to be the NBA Defensive Player of the Year, Mark Gasol being the first. Whereas as a standout player for the Memphis Grizzlies, he helped elevate the franchise to national prominence, becoming a source of pride for Memphis and Shelby County and representing the city with integrity and determination. And whereas beyond his athletic achievements, he has contributed to the spirit of Shelby County through community engagement, youth empowerment, and charitable outreach, serving as a positive role model for young people, particularly young African American men. And especially with his work in support of the National Civil Rights Museum. Whereas, although he has been traded to the Utah Jazz, his legacy in Shelby County endures as his impact on the court and in the community continues to resonate throughout Memphis. And whereas in the spirit of Black History Month, Jaron Jackson Jr.'s accomplishments reflect the enduring legacy of Black excellence, leadership, and achievement that strengthens our community and advances opportunity for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we honor him. And I just wanted to add about his family values. I just respect his dad having been a great NBA player as well. But he held the belief that to whom much had been given, much was required, and lived that out. So I love that about him. And so let's honor him and wish him well. Thank you.
We're going to move move now to District 8. Commissioner Lowry, who will be honoring Velma Lois Jones.
I do. I do. You've done a lot, and we have to honor our legends while they're still amongst us. All right, Madam Chair, Commissioners. Whereas Velma Lois Jones is a proud North Memphian, serving as a classroom teacher in Memphis City schools, including Cypress Junior High School, and whereas Ms. Jones made history as the first black woman and the longest-serving president of the Tennessee Education Association, serving since 1998 and becoming the first classroom teacher elected to lead both the Memphis Education Association and the Tennessee Education Association. Whereas she further broke barriers as the first woman elected president of the NAACP Memphis branch. Whereas her legacy and leadership extends to her beloved sisterhood and Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, where she served as international parliamentarian for the 13th Southeastern Regional Director, and to LeMoyne College, where she served on the Board of Trustees and as parliamentarian after have been the longest serving national alumni president. I can say that Ms. Collins, along with Florida Collins, as well as Ms. Velma Lois Jones, gave me plenty of instruction as I became national alumni president after them. Pretty much told me what to do every day. Now for let it be resolved that the Shelby County Board of Commissioners do by honor and celebrate Velma Lois Jones during Black History Month for her historic achievements, trailblazing leadership, and lifelong commitment to education, civil rights, and the empowerment of future generations. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, little Myron. And I can say that because I remember when this boy was born. And we were eagerly waiting on him to come because we were still waiting over at LeMoyne College with his father and his mother. So I've known him all his life, and I expected great things from him because of from whence he has come. And so now I'm getting a little payback for helping move you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. And thanks to all of you for the good kinds of things you do to make Memphis and Tennessee a better place to live. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lil Myra.
Ms. Jones, thank you so much for all you have given to Memphis and Shelby County. It was also very wonderful for you to be honored this past year as a part of the National Civil Rights Museum, and we are so honored that you are here with us today. We'll now move to District 10, and Commissioner Lowry, if you could do that presentation as well for Jason Sharif.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thanks for joining me up here.
And Commissioner Lowry is doing this on behalf of Commissioner Thornton, who is not here.
Yes, esteemed colleagues, Commissioner Thornton has asked me to present today's honor on her behalf. As a fellow community organizer, she has worked closely with Mr. Sharif for years and continues to root for the success of a better Whitehaven. It is with great pleasure that District 10 office honor a dedicated community leader in Whitehaven, Mr. Jason Sharif, and therefore let it be resolved to say by Commissioner Britton Thornton in her absence that she wants to thank you for all of the hard work that you and your organization continue to do on a daily basis. Creating a better Whitehaven means creating a better Shelby County overall. So Jason, thank you for your tireless work and for the work you're going to continue to do in the future. Thank you so much.
Begin with Allah's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I want to thank Commissioner Brittany Thornton for even recognizing me. I remember when I started A Better Whitehaven, we was Respect the Haven, and I remember I inboxed Commissioner Thornton, who then was the head of Juice Orange Mound, and just reached out to her, for some advice. And I even, Juice Orange Mound, she got juice in all capital letters. So even with Respect the Haven, I put respect in all capital letters, after her. So I want to thank her for even thinking about recognizing me. I know the last time I was before the Shelby County Commission was back in 2022 when I interviewed for my school board appointment. And I told y'all back then that even if I didn't get the seat, I would continue to do the work in my community, and that I didn't need a political seat to do the work in my community. And here, 4 years later, I think I stayed true to that word, and I'm still working to make my community better. And since then, I've had a lot of I had a lot of commissioners who have supported me since then. I know Commissioner Caswell, he's watching it from D.C., and he told me if I didn't say anything, that if I didn't tell everybody that he raised me, then when he got back to Memphis, it was going to be some problems. But I remember back in I'm going to make this real quick. I remember back in January 2023 when I got laid off from the nonprofit that I was working with. And I asked him to write me a letter of recommendation because I wanted to work for the Fraser CDC. And he said, I don't mind writing you a letter of recommendation, but don't you have a CDC in Whitehaven? And, you belong in Whitehaven and do your work in Whitehaven. So for the past 3 years, I've been full-time working in Whitehaven with my own CDC. So I thank him for that. And then another commissioner who has been a great help to me is Commissioner Mick Wright, Republican from Bartlett. Imagine that. But, he came to Whitehaven and he sat down with me, and he actually, I told him about the great things that we're doing in Whitehaven, and he's always been supportive of me. And that showed it's going to take all of us working together, black, white, Democrat, Republican, Muslim, Christian. It's going to take all of us working together to make this city a better place to live. So I just want to thank, I got some of my member organizations up here. I don't do this work by myself. Better Whitehaven, we are a member-based community organization. So just want to thank, some of my member organizations that are here. My mom, got to thank my mom. I came back home in 2019. I moved back here from Houston to help my mom take care of my elderly grandfather. And I ended up moving back in my childhood home in Whitehaven, and just seeing the changes in Whitehaven is what made me start Respect the Haven, now Better Whitehaven. I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see. So, I'm just a regular person, to be, recognized with some of these giants is really, really humbling. So again, just thank you, Mikhail Lowry. Thank you for all your support, and thank you. I had to bring the whole crew.
Got everybody in the shot.
Thank you. I also want to make sure to acknowledge that Commissioner Henry Brooks, who represents District 7, her honoree is Shep Wilburn. Neither were able to be here today. And Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs is honoring Representative State Senator Ramesh Akbari. We will now move to District 12, honored by Erica Sugarman, Dr. Charles McKinney.
so much history here. I'm just so overwhelmed. Um, this is a special resolution recognizing Dr. Charles McKinney in honor of Black History Month 2026. Whereas Charles Wesley McKinney Jr. was born in Jefferson City, Missouri, and raised in California. He is the son of Lily and Charles McKinney, Sr., and the brother of Teresa McKinney. Dr. McKinney attended Morehouse College, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in history with honors, and founded KMT Fraternity, Incorporated, along with 9 other students. He taught elementary school for a year in South Central Los Angeles before returning to school to earn a PhD in African American history and graduate certification in African American Studies from Duke University. And excuse me. Whereas Dr. McKinney began teaching at Rhodes College in January 2005. In 2010, he published his first book, Greater Freedom: The Evolution of the Civil Rights Struggle in Wilson, North Carolina, and the first African American to be promoted to associate professor in the history department. For 14 years, Dr. McKinney was chair of the Africana Studies program, a program that was further expanded under his leadership. In 2025, 20 years after joining Rhodes College, Dr. McKinney was promoted to professor. And whereas Dr. McKinney's writing has been published by the Wall Street Journal, Black Perspectives, Vanity Fair, U.S. Today, among others. Along with United States, he has appeared in radio programs and news outlets in China, Australia, New Zealand, and across Europe. And whereas Dr. McKinney's primary research interests include the civil rights movement and frequently conducts professional development workshops for public school teachers across the country. I attended one. It was wonderful. The movement, as well as other workshops and trainings on grassroots activism and movement building for organizers and union members in Mississippi, California, Louisiana, and Tennessee. In 2022, he was nominated by Mayor Lee Harris to serve on the Shelby County Historical Commission. Whereas Dr. McKinney considers himself blessed beyond measure as a proud husband of Natalie McKinney, the love of his life, and proud father of Vanessa, Ayo, and Chioka. Thank you so much. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Shelby County Board of Commissioners recognize Dr. Charles McKinney in honor of Black History Month 2026.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Few words?
Thank you so much for this honor. A few words. My mother was a science teacher back in her day. And she has forgotten more about education than I will ever know. The other thing I would say really quickly is that if I have become 1/10 of the father, 1/10 of the leader, 1/10 of the husband, 1/10 of the community member, 1/10 of a dedicated Black man determined to advance his community. If I have become 1/10 of one of those things that my father, Charles Wesley, has modeled, then I figure I'm doing all right. My father is the man I want to be when I grow up, and my mother is my hero, and my wife is my better half. Thank you very much.
Can we get a family picture? Can we get a family picture? Is that okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Sedge.
Thank you, Dr. McKinney. Looking forward to the panel I'll be serving on with you in the next couple of days, always for the promotion of equity and justice. We now will move to District 13. Commissioner Whaley will be honoring Dr. Candace Thomas.
All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, fellow commissioners. It's an honor today to have the opportunity to recognize Dr. Candace Thomas with First Aid Memphis. Dr. Thomas, unfortunately, wasn't able to be here today, but she clearly brought her posse anyway. So I appreciate y'all making the time to be out and spend time with us this afternoon. Whereas Dr. Candace Thomas is an internationally recognized leader in child development, infant and early childhood mental health, and early childhood systems building, Dr. Thomas, as the inaugural executive director of First Aid Memphis, shepherded the organization from a bold vision to a vital community pillar, building Tennessee's first place-based early care and education system from the ground up to create alignment, access, and awareness across Shelby County. And whereas Dr. Candace Thomas's leadership has allowed the Bluff City to experience a historic expansion of pre-K access for 3- and 4-year-olds through the trailblazing Pre-K for All joint ordinance, and kindergarten readiness scores in Memphis and Shelby County have increased by 13 percentage points over the last 5 years, and access to pre-K has expanded by 2,600 seats across school districts and private child care providers, representing a groundbreaking approach to early childhood education alignment. Memphis and Shelby County released the nation's first infant and early childhood mental health landscape assessment in majority Black community, advancing national understanding of equity-centered early childhood mental health. And whereas Dr. Candace Thomas and First Aid Memphis has provided professional development to more than 1,000 early care and education providers, including leading one of the largest early childhood education conferences in the Mid-South just a few months ago. So congratulations on that, and that really is a team effort. Whereas Dr. Candace Thomas holds a PhD in child development from the Erickson Institute, Loyola University of Chicago, a Master in Public Policy from the University of Chicago, Harris School of Public Policy, and a BA from Wesleyan University, and is a proud graduate of the Leadership Memphis Executive Class of 2022. I think that's where they say it's the best class ever. Yeah, it was 2012. It's 2012. Whereas in addition to her professional achievements, Dr. Candace Thomas enriches the Memphis community through a love of the art scene and a passion for collecting antiques. She's also a member of the National Civil Rights Museum and the Black Art Collective of the Memphis Brooks Museum of Art. And whereas Dr. Thomas, originally from the Bronx, has called Memphis home since April 2020, right in the middle of COVID, when we brought her here to Memphis, her vision and leadership have profoundly shaped the lives of our city's children and families, strengthening the foundation for a brighter future. We are honored to celebrate her contributions to our community. One other thing I want to say, and I know Dr. Thomas has taken a few days, well-deserved days off, but I wanted to recognize her for a very specific reason, and that is that she is literally shaping the future of Black history. You all are shaping the future of Black history, and I think that cannot be understated. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Candace Thomas. And we have representing Dr. Thomas, Miss Alicia Norman. So would love to have you say a few words.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much. My name is Alicia Norman. I am the director of Next Memphis with Porter Leave. I am a member of the First State Memphis Board of Directors, and I have been honored to be able to serve in that capacity for the last 5 years. Dr. Thomas was recruited as executive director, as Commissioner Whaley said, just 6 months after the organization's launch in August of 2019. She relocated to Memphis to begin her tenure on April 2020, weeks after the COVID-19 pandemic triggered a global shutdown. Despite a time of historic disruption, Dr. Thomas led the startup through its formative years with clarity and focus. Due to a prior commitment, she's unable to accept this recognition in person, but she sends her gratitude and her heartfelt thanks to the entire commission. Words from and on behalf of Dr. Thomas. I am deeply grateful to Commissioner Whaley and the Shelby County Commission for this recognition and for your acknowledgement of our work and the impact of First Aid Memphis in the 901. To be honored during Black History Month is my biggest honor. It is a privilege to serve the children and families of this community, and I remain committed to advancing opportunities for our babies to thrive. So, on behalf of the board and the entire staff of First Aid, everybody's not here, and our board members, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Commissioner Whaley and the Shelby County Commissioners for recognizing our leader, a Black woman who came to this community with one clear agenda: to advance early care and education resources for the children who need it the most, and to dismantle the systems that create barriers to their ability to thrive. So we honor Dr. Thomas. We look forward to celebrating with her when she gets back to her Memphis home. And thank you so much for allowing us to accept this recognition on her behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Whaley. All right, and rounding us out, Chairwoman Avant with District 5.
Colleagues, thank you so much. Vice Chair Bradford, and to my colleagues, last but never least, I'd like to take this privilege of honoring a very great man in our community, Dr. Russell Wigington. Whereas Black History Month is a time to celebrate the achievements, contributions, please come up, Dr. Wigington, and contributions and enduring legacy of African Americans who've helped shape our nation's history, strengthen our communities, and advance the cause of justice and equality, Dr. Russell Wigington serves as the president of the National Civil Rights Museum, assuming the esteemed role in August of 2021, where he provides visionary leadership rooted in education, historical scholarship, fundraising expertise, operational excellence, and community engagement. And prior to Dr. Wigington serving in this role, he served as Vice President of Student Life and Dean of Students at Rhodes College, where he oversaw the college's co-curricular student experience and strengthened programs that support student development. He also served as Vice President of External Affairs of the Vice President for College Relations, where he helped establish and implement the institutional strategy for college engagement in Memphis and beyond. In addition to Dr. Wigington's leadership, he taught for 8 years in the history department at Rhodes, specializing in African American and community history. Under his leadership at the National Civil Rights Museum, at the site of Dr. King's assassination, serving as an international beacon of both civil and human rights education and reflection, he has also completed a $38 million renovation with the Blue Cross Healthy Place at Founders Park Legacy Terrace at the Legacy Building. This renovation focuses on civil and human rights from 1968 to the present and seeks to answer the question of Dr. King's last book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community, which I purchased last time I was in the museum. I just want you to know. Dr. Wigington is also the author of The Strange Career of the Black Athlete, African Americans in Sports, and has published articles and essays on African American social and labor history, contributing to the national scholarship and the broader understanding of American history. And whereas Dr. Wigington has demonstrated unwavering civic and community through his numerous boards, I have to say personally as a point of privilege that my very first job at the Boys and Girls Club, Dr. Wigington was on the board and became a mentor to me back in my 20s. I know it's a long time ago, right? But he saw and wanted to make sure that young professionals had an opportunity to grow, and he thought it was very important to nurture them in nonprofits because of the work that we do so essential to this community. And that speaks volumes about what he has done and continue to do in this community. I have to say his better half was not able to be here, Dr. Tamika Hart Wigington, but I know that in so many ways they are continuing to make this community better. And so now, therefore, be it resolved by the Shelby County Board of Commissioners in Shelby County, Tennessee, that we do hereby honor and recognize this great man, Dr. Russell Wigington, for his outstanding leadership, scholarship, civic engagement, and steadfast commitment to preserving civil rights history and the advancing educational opportunity in Shelby County and beyond. Please, won't you say a few words?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you all for the recognition. I'm honored to serve at the place where we lost Dr. King on April 4, 1968, to ensure that we don't just remember it as that place, but it becomes a place of inspiration and a place where all people can find a way to honor him and motivation to be their best selves. And yes, indeed, I am Tamika Hart's husband, and that has served me well, very well. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Vice Chair. If you would like to call for the consent for
Yes,
next
ma'am.
item on the agenda, thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you all for being here today and for all of our honorees. Thank you for what you do for Shelby County and beyond Shelby County. Truly blessed to have you in front of us. Commissioner Wright, you're in the queue before I go.
Yeah, just a quick word, Mr. Vice Chair and Madam Chair, of thanks to the staff. I know all the staff working on this did a lot, and to get these resolutions crafted and framed and all those good things. So thank you so much to all the people who support this great recognition. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright.
Vice Chair Bradford, if I
Yes, ma'am.
could
Go
just
ahead.
take one more moment of privilege, I just would like to take a moment to recognize a couple of young men who are here in the audience. If they could come forward. These are two young men who are participating in the Leadership Academy, which is preparing young men to meet the challenge of today's society. And this 6-month skills workshop specifically focuses on the competencies needed for post-secondary. These young men, those who are going through this program, will have their coming out of sorts in April, but I thought it was really important for them to be able to be here today to see some of the great people that you all have recognized for Black History Month. I thank them for their commitment, and we look forward to them one day being young men that are also honored in this great chamber. So thank you for being here.
All right, Commissioners, now is the time that we will review the consent agenda. If you have noticed, this is the only part of our agenda today, so don't feel compelled to pull anything from the consent agenda, but you're welcome to review it at this time, and then shortly we will pull the items from the list. So if we could have 3 minutes to review the consent agenda. Thank you.
Commissioner Lowry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know how much I love long meetings, so therefore, if we can start from item number 3, no, I'm just joking. Please, 12, 13, and 15.
12, 13, and 15. Okay. Commissioner Sugarman? Okay. Seeing no other items, if we could, parliamentarian, read the consent agenda. All right, can we get a motion for the consent agenda? Have a motion by Commissioner Bradford. Can I get a second? Have a second by Commissioner Whaley. And so parliamentarian, if you could read the consent agenda minus items 12, 13, and 15.
Yes, ma'am. Items 3 and 4 come from the Budget and Finance Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Whaley. Item 3 is a resolution receiving and filing the December 2025 monthly comprehensive financial update reports entitled Shelby County Government Monthly Commission Division Reports for the year ending June 30th, 2026, sponsored by Commissioner Michael Whaley. Item 4 is a resolution approving the purchase of Palo Alto licenses and subscriptions from Unicode Technology in a total amount not to exceed $194,022.89, with the option to renew for 2 additional one-year periods, with the discount percentage of the list price increase not to exceed 10% over the prior year's renewal. This item requires expenditure of FY 2026 Information Technology Services Internal Services Fund in the amount of $194,022.89, sponsored by Commissioner Michael Whaley. Item 5 comes from the Public Works Committee, which is chaired by Vice Chair Bradford. Item 5 is a resolution approving the agreement between Shelby County and Coastal Fuels, Inc. to secure the public improvements to Phillips Farms Planned Development Area 2A, Phase D, PD 05-344CC, and authorizing the recording of the plat when bonding procedures have been fulfilled. This item does not require expenditure of county operating funds, sponsored by Vice Chair David C. Bradford, Jr. Items 6 and 7 come from the Law Enforcement Corrections and Courts Committee with Commissioner Sugarman as Vice Chair. Item 6 is a resolution to amend the FY 2026 operating budget to accept and expend supplemental grant funds in the amount of $250,000 from the State of Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance for the Shelby County Sheriff's Office for the purpose of hiring, training, and retaining law enforcement officers for a total award in the amount of $750,000. This item requires appropriation and expenditure of FY 2026 state grant funds in the amount of $250,000, sponsored by Commissioner McWright. Item 7 is a resolution approving a contract between Shelby County government on behalf of the Juvenile Court of Memphis and Shelby County, Tennessee, and Inside Circle to provide trauma-informed restorative group programming and staff training services to justice-involved youth in the amount of $215,050. Said contract shall commence upon execution through June 30th, 2026, with the option to renew for 1 additional one-year period. This item requires the expenditure of juvenile court judges' funds that were reallocated from fiscal year 2024 Sheriff's Office to the Juvenile Court Judges Operations and Maintenance Budget to opioid settlement funds in an amount not to exceed $215,050, sponsored by Commissioner Charlie Caswell, Jr. Item 8 comes from the General Government Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 8 is a resolution approving the election of notaries public for appointment and or reappointment for Shelby County, Tennessee, sponsored by Commissioner Henry E. Brooks. Item 9 comes from the Core City Neighborhoods and Housing Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Brooks. Item 9 is a resolution approving the sale of 37 county-owned delinquent tax parcels acquired by Shelby County from various Shelby County tax sales to identified purchasers at various prices, collectively totaling $247,020, pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated Section 67-5-2507, and authorizing the Shelby County Mayor to execute reclaim deeds, sponsored by Commissioner Henry E. Brooks. Item 10 comes from the Equal Opportunity Committee, which is chaired by Chairwoman Shantae K. Avant. Item 10 is a resolution of the Shelby County Board of Commissioners to restructure the Office of Equal Opportunity Compliance, EOC, sponsored by Chairwoman Shantae K. Avant. Items 11 and 14 come from the Milton Community Enhancement Grants Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Thornton. Item 11 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2026 operating budget in the amount of $25,000 to Ma and 9 Mustard Seeds Foundation, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $25,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Henry E. Brooks. Item 14 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2026 operating budget in the amount of $10,000 to Memphis and Shelby County Bar Foundation, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $10,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman.
All right, seeing no commissioners in the queue, we could prepare the screen for a vote. Please record the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioner Morrison, Whaley, Wright, Mills, Laurie, Chairwoman Avant, Vice Chair Bradford, Commissioner Sugarman. We have 8 aye votes.
That motion passes. Parliamentarian, please read item number 12.
Item 12 comes from the Milton Community Enhancement Grants Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Thornton. Item 12 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2026 operating budget in the amount of $10,000 to Vitalent Foundation, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $10,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner David C. Bradford Jr., Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs, and Commissioner Mick Wright. This item was amended in February 18th, 2026 committee meeting.
I have a motion by Commissioner Whaley, a second by Vice Chair Bradford. Commissioner Lowry, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to amend by 1,500.
Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Lowry, a second by Vice Chair Bradford to amend by 1,500, making that item, sorry, did not have it turn to that page, 11,500. Can we do that without objection? Okay. I'd like to also amend by 2,500. I have a motion by Chair Avant, a second by Vice Chair Bradford. Can we do that without objection? Seeing none, that's so moved. So that makes that item $13,500. Can we prepare the screen for a vote? Please report the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioner Morrison, Whaley, Wright, Mills, Laurie, Sugarman, Chairwoman Avant, Vice Chair Bradford. We have 8 aye votes.
That motion passes. Parliamentarian, please read item 13.
Item 13 comes from the Milton Community Enhancement Grants Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Thornton. Item 13 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2026 operating budget in the amount of $31,000 to Slave Haven on the Underground Railroad, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $31,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Erica Sugarman, Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs, Commissioner Henry E. Brooks, and Commissioner Mick Wright. This item was amended in February 18th, 2026 committee meeting.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sugarman, a second by Commissioner Whaley. Commissioner Lauer, before you speak, we do have a comment card from Elaine Turner. If you would like to come forward and say your name and zip code, please.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Elaine Turner, Slave Haven Underground Railroad Museum, 826 North 2nd Street. We have requested from the county commissioners assistance in helping to reestablish and reopen Slave Haven Underground Railroad Museum. We are in the process of getting things back in order. We have several commissioners who have committed to assist in that effort, and thank Commissioner Erica Sugarman, Henry Brooks, Michigan Bibbs, and the others, I think of Watley, who have already committed, and we would be very pleased if we have others. Many of you know that Slave Haven Museum was affected by a fire a couple of years ago, and we are trying to get everything back on track. And in order to do that, it's kind of a restart, and we if any other commissioners would like to add to that, we would be most grateful for that.
Thank you, Ms. Turner. We do have a couple of commissioners in the queue. Commissioner Lowry?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to amend by 7,500.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Lowry, a second by Commissioner Sugarman to amend by 7,000, making that 38,000. I'm sorry, was it 7,500? My apologies. That makes that 38,500. Can we do that without objection? All right, Commissioner Whaley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to amend by an additional 2,500.
I have a motion by Commissioner Whaley, a second by Commissioner Sugarman. Can we do that without objection, making that 41,000? All right, I would like to amend by 9,000 to get you to your 50,000. I have a motion by Chair Avan, a second by Commissioner Whaley. Can we do that without objection, making that 50,000? Okay. All right, if we could prepare the screens for a vote for 50,000 to the Slave Haven. Could you please report the vote?
We have aye votes from Commissioner Morrison, Whaley, Wright, Mills, Laurie, Sugarman, Vice Chair Bradford, Chairwoman Avant. We have 8 aye votes.
That motion passes.
Thank all of you all so very much. We
You're
are so pleased for all of your support. And we welcome everybody to come to Slave Haven when we reopen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have one additional appearance card for this item. Ekpe Abiato. If you could say your name and zip code for the record.
Good afternoon. My name is Ekpe Abioto. I guess I don't need to speak now then, huh? So it's a done deal. So anyway, just support Slave Haven and all the other cultural entities that are in Memphis that represent Memphis. Slave Haven is one place that people come from all around the world. It's a smaller place than some of the other bigger museums, but who's been to Slave Haven before? I know I should be asking this. Maybe I don't know. But everybody should go there and see what it is because it's a done deal and there's nothing else for me to say. All right. Thank you.
Well, I thought you were just going to come up and say your thanks.
Pardon me?
I thought you were just going to come up and say your thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Ekpe. All right. Commissioners. Yes, parliamentarian read item 15.
Item 15 comes from the Milton Community Enhancement Grants Committee, which is chaired by Commissioner Thornton. Item 15 is a resolution awarding county funds from the FY 2026 operating budget in the amount of $10,000 to Elite Performance Foundation, a charitable organization. This item requires an expenditure of $10,000 from the Milton Community Enhancement Program Grant Fund, sponsored by Commissioner Miska Clay Bibbs. This item was amended in February 18th, 2026 committee meeting.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sugarman, a second by Commissioner Lowry. Commissioner Lowry, you recognize.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to amend by 5,000.
Okay. have a motion by Commissioner Lowry, second by Commissioner Sugarman. Can we do that without objection? Making this 15,000. Seeing no other commissioners in the queue, could we prepare the screen for a vote? Please report the vote.
We have aye votes from Commissioner Whaley, Wright, Mills, Laurie, Vice Chair Bradford, Chairwoman Avon, Commissioner Sugarman. We have 7 aye votes.
That motion passes. Commissioners, there are no items on the regular agenda. There are no additional items on the regular agenda. Thank you. Okay. In light of time, I thought I would take the personal privilege of reading the 150 chapters of the Psalms into the record. If there are no objections. Okay. All right. Seeing that, we will now go to the part of the agenda where there are announcements. If you'd like to get into the queue for announcements. Seeing no commissioners in the queue, this meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting will be March 9th, 2026.